Be sure you put your feet in the right place and then stand firm. With those words of the 16th President of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln, I welcome you to another edition of Crime Busters. This is the program where we discuss security matters. We bring you security updates. We tell you about activities of security agencies in Nigeria. We'll also bring you no holds barred interactive session. And of course, we'll also keep you abreast with the tips that you need in terms of how to protect your life and property. My name is Desmond Nwachukwu. I'm excited to be back on this channel. Thank you for joining us.
You are watching the Crime Busters. Security updates, no holds barred interviews, special reports, security tips. It's Crime Busters.
All right, welcome back to the program. It is the security update segment of the program. This is the segment where we bring you reports on the activities of security agencies in Nigeria. You will recall that on the 1st of July 2016, a member of Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Gideon Aremu, was murdered by some gang of armed robbers. Very recently, the long arm of the law caught up with them, and the revelations are contained in this report.
It's Crime Busters.
Nemesis finally caught up with runaway murderer and armed robbery suspect Kola Arobiole alongside two others, Taufik Bashiru and Sulaiman Oladiti, after a robbery operation and gruesome murder of Honorable Gideon Aremu on 4th of July 2016 at his Alakia residence. Honorable Gideon Aremu at the time was a member of Oyo State House of Assembly. 30-year-old Kola Arobiole, who was declared wanted by the police, absconded to his hometown in Ekiti State, but was apprehended by the operatives of Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad after leading another robbery operation at Egbeda area of the state.
Machine. Inside the Alakia, even mistake it, mọ̀ pé ẹni tó tóbi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sà gbà tá a dé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn náà bá lọ agídí sà tó fẹ́ bu ẹnìkan so wọ́n tẹ̀ ti bu ẹnìyẹn so gan nù wa pé kò ní lọ.
Kola Arobiole, who claimed that the incident was a mistake, pleads for pardon. Oyo State Commissioner of Police, CP Abiodun Odude, advised parents to be more observant in child upbringing.
As we grapple with the reality of crime during the Ember months, the command once again pledges a sustained, robust security for the good people of Oyo State. In doing this, we will strive vigorously to save the sacrosanct lives and valuable property of the law-abiding citizens from the throes of criminal elements in the state.
A Bajaj Boxer motorcycle with registration number AYJ038QM and other valuables, including cash, were recovered by the police. Okpayemi Ewulo, reporting for Crime Busters.
You are watching the Crime Busters. Security updates, no holds barred interviews, special reports, security tips. It's Crime Busters.
The Nigeria Customs Service have intercepted and impounded a truck loaded with 602 bags of rice being smuggled into Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The area commander of Nigerian Customs Service, Ogun State Command, Sonny Madugu, made this known to journalists at the Abeokuta office of the service.
The year is coming to an end. Officers and men of Ogun Area Command are working round the clock. Seizures upon seizures are being recorded on a daily basis. You can see a trailer loaded, full load of 602 bags of parboiled 60 kg imported rice being smuggled through the express of Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway before the interchange of Shagam. We monitor this truck from somewhere in Ogun State. They dropped this vehicle into Lagos, still took the express, thinking they have beaten everybody, not knowing we are on their back. It's just as if we are moving together with them. Per second, we are monitoring smugglers in Ogun Command. We will not give them breathing space. we will continue to intercept them. We will continue to make seizures. That is what I'm presenting to you, 600 bags of rice loaded in a trailer and covered to disguise for us.
The customs boss, while giving insights into other seizures made by the service, also spoke about the duty paid value of the goods.
We are there, they didn't know we were monitoring. In addition to it, there is mosquito coil also being added to the empty space upstairs to bring it down to Nigeria. We are there by the border corner, the border axis, we intercepted them and we brought it here. Number of vehicles loaded with various quantities of rice are equally here. We have equally a bus here loaded, is it a RAV4? No, a bus loaded with used tires, which is absolute prohibition. Both the tires and the vehicle has always also been forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. However, we are taking it to law court where final judgment or decision will be taken by the court. You can see we have equally Tokumbo cars there. We are making seizures around the clock like I told you. This is another seizure of footwear, what we call shoes, Italian-made sandals that are here loaded in this bus. We intercepted them and we brought it down to this place. Both the bus and this footwear are hereby detained and will soon be converted to seizure before we prosecute this vehicle. Another thing here, you see the Tokumbo cars. Like I promised you, I said, seizure, open seizure is going to continue in Ogun Command, especially towards the end of the year. People are thinking custom will go to sleep. We are working around the clock. We are 24/7. We are monitoring per second, monitoring the smugglers. That is why they hardly escape our hand these days. 0.9 million naira worth duty paid value we have done in Abeokuta axis of the command. Seizures will continue in due course.
Speaking on e-auction, it maintained that the Nigeria Customs Service is transparent with the process.
There has been auction, e-auction going on. Ogun State has been on the lead. We have released vehicles that were won by the successful bidders of the e-auction. A total of 277 vehicles have been taken from Ogun Area Command. 244 different vehicles have been taken from Idiroko axis of the command, while 233 vehicles have been taken from Idiroko axis of the command. 44 vehicles or cars have been taken from Abeokuta axis of the command. E-auction is ongoing. Nigeria Customs Service is sincere to its promise that we are doing e-auction and we are showing the public we are doing it, and there is no human contact between the buyers and the officials of the Nigeria Customs Service.
On the welfare of the men and officers of the service, Madugu said the management of the service are keeping to their promise and assured that the service will remain on top of their game.
All the promises made by the management of the Nigeria Customs Service, they are fulfilling it. You can see the delivery of welfare. See a block, brand new 30-man barrack just being completed, about to be handed over to the Nigeria Customs Service. We will soon take over for the benefit and the enjoyment of our officers and men of the command. As we speak, my officers and men are in the bush, on the road, scouting for smugglers.
Damilola Agumbiade, reporting for Crime Busters.
You are watching the Crime Busters. Security updates, no holds barred interviews, special reports, security tips. It's Crime Busters.
Still in Oyo State, and of course at the headquarters of the Nigerian Police Oyo State Command in Elele, where the CP Abiodun Adewale Odude paraded some suspects. Amongst them were some suspected ritualists who were caught with 2 fresh human heads. Femi Sholaja and Okpeyemi Ewulo were there, and they filed in this report.
No, let the people open it by themselves.
Open it yourself. Where is this Femi?
The peaceful atmosphere of Oyo State was thrown into confusion as 3 young men were nabbed by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Command on the 14th of November 2017. The suspects, who claimed to be Muslim clerics, disclosed that the severed human body parts in their possession was gotten from corpses at a Muslim cemetery in the Saleh General area of Ogbomoso. 22-year-old Taufik Bello gave insight into what he intends to do with the fresh human body parts.
Abẹ́bí sògùn owó ni.
Fún ta ni.
Fúnra wa.
Bẹ̀kì ṣàkótẹ́ ti ṣe tẹ́ ṣe.
A ṣe rí.
Ẹ tó ọmọ ọdún mélòó?
Mo ti wá mo ti wọ 22 years báyìí.
22.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé at 22 o ti jìyà débi pò rò pé oògùn owó ló kàn?
Àfáà ni mi.
Báwo ló ṣe mọ̀ nípa oògùn owó ṣíṣe? Ṣé ilé baba aláwo náà bí ẹ sí ni àbí ilé àfáà? Ṣé wọ́n ti ṣe lójú ẹ̀ rí ni tó fi mọ̀? Báwo ló ṣe mọ̀ pé bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe nìyí pé ìgbésẹ̀ tó ń gbé nìyí?
Normally nígbà tí wọ́n bá ti kọ́yàn ní nǹkan tí wọ́n sì ti mọ̀ pé tọ̀ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n kọ́yàn yìí kò sí irọ́ níbẹ̀ so èyàn ó ti mọ̀ pé yóò ṣiṣẹ́ náà ni.
In the same vein, 37-year-old Alfa Babatunde Karim and 48-year-old Adebayo Yusuf also has this to say.
Iṣẹ́ wo gangan ni ẹ̀ ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn?
Àfáà.
Àfáà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àfáà tó ń ṣoògùn owó. Ṣé ẹ̀sìn ìgbà ilé láàyè?
Ẹ̀sìn ọ̀faramọ̀.
Ẹ̀sìn ọ̀faramọ̀.
Bó lẹ ṣe fẹ́ ṣe ó ṣàyẹ̀kẹ́jẹ́.
A tún sínú agbádá ni bá a ti máa ń jo.
Ẹ jo.
A jo so a dẹ̀ pín sí méjì. Tá bá ti pín sí méjì a fi ṣe ọṣẹ a máa fi ẹ̀kọ lò yòókù lálẹ́.
Ẹ máa fi ẹ̀kọ lò ètò kù.
Lálẹ́.
Báwo lówó yín á ṣe wá wọn á dé?
Ṣé wọ́n máa ń gbé wá náà ni?
Wọ́n máa gbé wá?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Lóru. Inú iṣẹ́ ti pèsè yàrá tí wọ́n máa gbé wá sílẹ̀.
Àlìjànú ni ó máa wá.
Àti ṣé wọ́n máa gbé pàdé yín lọ́nà ni àbí yàrá kan wà tó máa gbé wá fún yín?
Ó depend lórí iṣẹ́ téèyàn bá ń ṣe.
CP Abiodun Odude, however, stressed the need for the general public to be security conscious and promptly report any suspected movements around them during this festive period and beyond. Okpayemi Ewulo, reporting for Crime Busters.
It's Crime Busters.
All right, thank you so much for keeping tab with us. You're still watching Crime Busters. And next on the lineup is the No Holds Barred interview segment, where we will be talking to those who are factors as far as security matters is concerned. As guests on the program today, we have a former commander in the Biafra soldier during the Civil War, and a seasoned legal practitioner and an elder statesman. His name is Hyde Onuagoluchi. He spoke on quite a number of issues affecting the security of Nigeria and the way forward. You will enjoy it. Please watch it.
You are watching the Crime Busters. Security updates, no holds barred interviews, special reports, security tips. It's Crime Busters.
The basics of national security is food security. The foundation of national security is food security. If you don't give assurance of food security, you can never have national security. A person who is, okay, if bag of rice now is about 22 naira a bag, and every Nigerian has a wife, maybe 4 children, maybe 1 or 2 helpers, so 8 persons. If they buy 1 bag of rice, it will give them 1 meal a day for 25 days. It will finish, 1 meal. And 1 bag of rice is higher than the minimum wage. Minimum wage in some states 18,000, and they remove tax and so on. So if an average Nigerian who earns 20,000, what that minimum wage will give him is 1 bag of rice. That's 1 meal a day. It doesn't give transport, it doesn't give house rent, it doesn't give school fees, it doesn't give clothing, nothing. In such a circumstance, I don't know how you can be talking about security, national security. In the circumstance of a situation where Nigeria was flooded with universities, uncontrolled, There's university everywhere. They're still licensing more universities. And people struggle, steal money and so on and go to university. And they go to university, it's all, everybody, it's free for all. Very few universities are studying, so that's simply learning corruption, in the university. And then you turn out so many graduates, hundreds like India. You turn out so many graduates, educated people, intelligent people, and there's no job. And you're talking about national security. Is it possible? It's going to be difficult. A person who has gone to university, he has a first degree, he has a second degree, some even hold PhD degrees, and they can't find work, and there's no hope of finding work. What do you want them to do? So it's lack of national planning. National planning, we didn't need to register the number of universities we registered. What any country needed was to make sure that majority of your populace are educated, basic education, not necessarily having university education. In Germany, which is a very elitist country, they didn't stress on this university education. At a certain point, some people will go into technology. At a certain point, some people will go into another level of technology. And finally, the other people will go to the university. Nigeria is that every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to university. Those who cannot pass honestly will cheat and pass. And they all have degrees. And there's no work in sight. No light at the end of the tunnel for these graduates. And you're talking about national security. I don't know whether Nigeria should not be allowed to carry arms, actually. That may be the solution. That's the solution in America. So that when the thief is coming, he knows he's going to meet fire for fire. The churches have failed Nigeria. The mosques and the churches have failed Nigeria. Because inside the churches and the mosques, there is unprecedented injustice, unprecedented corruption. Everybody is trying to steal from the other to make ends meet. Everybody is trying to steal from the other to make ends meet. So there's a culture of stealing. If you are paying somebody 18,000 naira minimum wage, and one bag of rice is 22,000 naira, and he's surviving, and he gets up in the morning and go send his children to school and so on and so forth, doesn't common sense tell you that there must be something wrong he's doing, Abi? If in Enugu here, the minimum wage is 18,000. So if you get to a higher level, it will be 22,000. One bag of rice, 22,000. And you're living well. You pay your boss to work, back. You send your children to school, pay the fees, you buy clothes for them, you pay house rent, with the same 22,000 Abi. 80% of the Nigerians still think that Buhari was God sent. Buhari is not having any serious threat to his governance. The Nnamdi Kanu you mentioned when you came here, was this really serious threat? Which serious-minded Igbo man was in support of that thing? Except charlatans, who have no say. In Igbo land, when we see people of our age who talk unguardedly, and we know they didn't go to the war, Abi? They didn't, when people were fighting, when men were fighting, they were in the kitchen, hiding, Abi? Or cooking food for us. And now they come out and talk like Igbo people. When we see them, we spit on their face. The approach of Biafra at this time wasn't the approach the Igbo man should take. The approach of Igbo man is for the leaders to go and meet Buhari and say, we want to support you. God brought you, we want to support you. How can we support you? What do we get in the bargain? Abi? You don't start with Biafra. So any sensible Igbo man who started talking in support of Biafra at that point, if you check his background, he didn't fight. So those people who make noise, they didn't see war. Those people who saw war, they don't make much noise. Making noise about war. If you saw war and saw how human being was turned into nothing, you will not be looking for another war unless you are pushed to the wall again. So when this crisis of Biafra was coming up and so on, a few of us who had time to talk to them, those called them and said, this thing you are doing will not help anybody. Leave it. Let us give this man a chance. Nigeria was almost bankrupt. So let us give this man a chance and see whether we can salvage Nigeria. You know, that was why the thing was virtually nipped in the bud in the early stage. It didn't escalate. Okay. If the people who saw war had supported the effort, it's difficult. The Igbo people can fight. They have the heart to fight. They have the heart to fight. They're not afraid. Those are people who came to war. Those who came to Onitsha will tell you. Those who came to Abagana will tell you. The Igbos have heart to fight. When there is need to fight, is there any need to fight now? You know, we just pray that there will be peace in Nigeria. We just pray for peace. Because it's only through peace that we can make progress. Let us just continue to pray for peace. Let us continue to pray that God will make the President Buhari look beyond the small compartment of APC and look at Nigerians and pick people that are helping run the government. God bless Nigeria with vast resources that without petroleum we can succeed. We have land, fertile land. If you invest in agriculture, in that you have vast area of land between Lagos and Ogun and to Ghana and so on and so forth, to the Republic of Benin, all those areas, if you flood them with rice and so on and so forth, you know, not mind how, just pour it for people, give people seedling, help them with it and so on and so forth. Let rice flood everywhere. Very soon there will be food security. Don't wait until you say, okay, let the big farmers come. Go to smallholder farmers, those who have 1 hectare, those who have 2 hectares, those who have 2+. Give them money, give them rice, help them to plant. When every family has food, then the number of people that will go to the market to buy the food will reduce, and the price of commodity will come down. But I think that Nigeria is blessed. I don't think that any sensible Nigeria want to divide Nigeria. If it's possible to remain as a country, we will pray for the unity and prosperity of Nigeria, because Nigeria is capable of becoming a very great country if we remain united.
Like you very well know, we will not end this program without bringing you tips on how to protect your life and property. Next is security tips on Crime Busters.
It's Crime Busters.
If egg is thrown at your windscreen while you are driving, it can be very, very dangerous. The first step is, immediately that happens, you must be composed. You must be cool and calm. You continue to drive. You must not use your wiper at that stage. You must not use water to wipe off that egg. What you do at that stage is try to look at your windscreen and look at a focus where you can see the front, and you continue driving until you get to a very safe place where you can now stop and you know that you are very, very secured in such a place. You can drive to any police station. You can drive to any public place like a school. You can drive to a filling station. You can just drive into anywhere you know that you are very, very safe. But definitely, you must not use your wiper. You must not use water at that stage. Because if you do, your vision will be very, very blurred. And you'll be forced to apply your brake. And you'll be forced to stop. And immediately you stop, those people that throw the egg at your windscreen will just be at the corner and they will swoop on you. The hoodlums will be there. They have their purpose. Immediately they do that, they know that you won't be able to drive off from that spot.
You are watching the Crime Busters. security updates, no holds barred interviews, special reports, security tips. It's Crime Busters.
That's the size of the package this week. I want to thank you most sincerely for being a part of it. Let's continue with this interaction by taking advantage of any of the platforms displayed on your screen. And then remember to also join us by way of sponsorship and advert placement. This program will certainly give you mileage for your money. On behalf of Olakunle Olabode and Oluwafemi Sholaja and the entire production crew, I want to thank you for being a part of it. My name is Desmond Nwachukwu. God willing, I'll be back in 7 days. Remember that security is everybody's business, and the only way to feel safe is to feel unsafe. So be security conscious. I'll see you again in 7 days. Bye-bye.